Hello, John Weber here with Surfrider Foundation. As you know, Surfrider is, of course, a nonprofit organization. Now, since I graduated college, I have only worked at nonprofit organizations, and as a chapter volunteer back in the day, I would see some people come to the organization without understanding what kind of nonprofit we are, or they would have a preconceived notion of what all nonprofits do or what all nonprofits are like, as if we were all the same. So I made this video because in fact, there's a whole spectrum of nonprofits or a whole range of nonprofits, and we're going to go through that and see where Surfrider falls in that range. To illustrate this, I'm going to use the problem of homelessness and nonprofits who work on that problem, even though it's obviously not something Surfrider works on. On one end of the spectrum, there's direct service. Imagine a nonprofit group that works on homelessness and they run a homeless shelter. They offer beds at night, a meal in the morning maybe, and the homeless people are back out on the street the next day. They're just providing services. It's pretty straightforward. A self-help type of group helping homeless people may provide the same services, but then uh, provide some type of forum where the people they are serving could communicate and possibly help each other with different aspects of their homelessness. An education organization may conduct and publish a study on homelessness to show the extent of the problem in their area. They would seek to educate the public through this study and publication they made. An advocacy or public interest type organization would likely have a lawyer or somebody like that go down to City Hall and try to convince the City Council not to cut the funding for the homeless shelters or to pass some other law that helps homeless people somehow. The key with this advocacy type organization is this. Do the homeless people know this lawyer went down to City Hall on their behalf? Probably not. Did any homeless people accompany the lawyer? Probably not. And did the homeless people ask the lawyer to do this? Probably not. Is the lawyer herself a homeless person? Definitely not. A direct action organization would be one that is made up of homeless people, and they would do the same thing the advocacy organization did, but they would do it themselves. Believe it or not, there are a few such organizations that are made up of homeless people. They don't allow non-homeless people into the group, and they advocate for themselves, and that's the key difference between a direct action group and an advocacy organization. Now, there are hardly any groups in existence that only fit into one of these categories. There's overlap, of course. Surfrider certainly educates and advocates, but when we are at our best, we are a direct action organization. When we turn out 10, 20, 100 people to a city hall to support a ban on plastic bags, or busloads of people to the Coastal Commission to help save trestles, that's direct action. Sure, they probably brought a lawyer, and a butcher and a baker and a surfboard maker. But that lawyer is probably a member of her local chapter. She's probably an integral part of the campaign, and the chapter asked her to be there, and she's standing beside her fellow chapter members as one of them. Something else that can be said about the range of nonprofits, on this end of the spectrum, they are okay with the world the way it is. They're not trying to change it. On the other end of the spectrum, they are very much trying to change the way the world is and change the nature of the existing power structure. Another thing you might guess about the range is where funding comes from. Most government money stays on this side of the spectrum. Foundations like to fund things like education, so they would probably stick more towards the middle. And groups that do advocacy or direct action, they usually rely to a certain extent on individual donors or members because they can't get money from the government and they can't get money from foundations to do direct action type of stuff. So, and also because of tax laws, that's why they can't get that money. So we know we're a nonprofit, and now we know we're a direct action organization. Here's some of the principles of direct action organizing to remember. So that's the range of nonprofits. That's where Surfrider fits into it. I think we need all types of groups to make the world a better place, and I hope this helps orient you if you're new to all this, or if you always wondered, or if you never ever thought about this at all. The next video in this series is about how carefully planned some direct action campaigns can be in order to bring about social change. You're going to love it. Thanks a lot for watching.